Welcome to All About Videography. My name is Dor Levy, and today I would like to introduce you to the Pixel K80 RGB light. It is also a bicolor LED light and it has a built-in effect. I will go over all the features it has, point out the good and the bad, and show you a trick that can benefit you with this light. So in the box you will find the light itself, a power adapter, a Velcro strap, and two diffusers. Now I'm not sure if the second diffuser is a spare one or to stack it on top of the other diffuser to get even softer light. Now to use the diffuser you will need to slide in the diffuser edges. Not the most comfortable way, but it's very secure when you get it in. Now the power supply is 13.5 feet long. The strap I assume is to hold the power supply to the light or to the stand. That way the weight of the power supply will not potentially break the DC plug. Specs, we have 552 piece LED bits, 45 watts, CRI is 97, Kelvin temperature is 2600 to 10,000, 360 RGB color spectrum in the HSI mode, 6 group and 48 channels. It dims down to 1%, it has 9 scenes effect, and it can be powered by Sony NPF batteries and a power supply. Build quality, most of the light is an aluminum alloy. The only thing is not is the knobs and the controller. The frame is not aluminum cast like some other lights, but it is plenty strong. The yoke is a U bracket and it will let you rotate the light 360 degrees. What I like about it, or any other yoke that turns 360, is you can hang the light from the ceiling and still have it correctly oriented. Also, you can mount the yoke flat. Now you can tie the yoke as much as you can and still move the yoke if you put a bit of effort. With that said, it will never get loose. On the light we also have the barn doors. You can remove the barn doors if you wish by removing the 4 Allen screws. I don't see why would you do that. Even though barn doors on LED lights panel don't do a great job, but it's still an excellent protection to the LEDs. And also if you remove the barn doors, you won't be able to use the diffusers that came with the light. Now the problem with barn doors on any video LED panel is that it casts shadows. You will get these lines patterns as you start closing the barn doors. It is less noticeable with the diffuser, but you still need to be careful when you are using the barn doors. Now going to the back of the light, you will find many vents for heat dissipation. Also on the back there is the controller. On the controller we have the on-off power switch, which also toggles between the battery power and the DC power. On the other side of the controller is the DC input. Now the tray does not have a battery release switch. You will need to push the battery backward to release it. Then we have the dial with a switch selector at the center of the dial. The dial is to dim the light and also to change the parameters value. The switch selector is to toggle between the parameters. On top of the dial there are 4 buttons: group, channel, dimmer presets, and the last one is the mode button, which toggles between the HSI, CCT, and the FX. Then we have the display. The display is very informative and very easy to see. The first 2 lines on the display are the same in all modes. On the first line there are the channels, then group A through F, and I have to say it is really lovely to see all the groups at once. On the second line we have the intensity indicator, mode indicator, and battery indicator. The only thing that changes in the second line is the mode. The third line will show you the Kelvin temperature 2600 through 10,000 in the CCT mode. In the HSI mode you will see the color spectrum indicator 1 through 360 and a color saturation indicator 0% through 100%. In the FLS mode, which is the FX, you will see the effects style indicator 1 through 9. In the RGB mode, besides changing the color spectrum, you can also change the color saturation, which gives you even more range on each of the 360 colors. Now there's something going on with this light, and maybe that's how it was designed, but I'm not a fan of it. So it does not matter in what mode you are, but when you select parameter, let's say Kelvin temperature for example, if you stop adjusting the temperature for 5 seconds, it will jump back to the intensity. And that will also happen when you are choosing effect style or color in the HSI mode. You could be going through the color spectrum looking for the one you like. Then take a moment to decide. By the time you are ready to turn the dial for more colors, you are actually changing the intensity. It's not big of a deal, but you need to remember that. Let's talk about the effects this slide has. I will go quickly over the effects since it is pretty much a standard for most RGB lights these days. So if you saw one, you pretty much saw it all. First one is the SOS. Second one is lighting 1. Third one is lighting 2. Fourth one is TV screen. Fifth one is police. 6, ambulance. 7, fire alarm. 8 RGB circle 1 and 9 RGB circle 2. Now you can change the intensity of the effects, but you cannot change the effect speed like some other lights. Also, the effects names on the displays are very clear to see. Let's talk about the light output. It is 45 watts LED panel. It has 552 LED bits. 240 of the 552 is the RGB, and 312 bits is the bicolor in CCT mode. Now, to give you an indication of how strong the Pixel K80 is, the smallest GVM LED panel is 480 LEDs. The Veltrux VL200 has 192 LEDs. I tested all the 3 lights from the same distance and with the same camera setting, and I was surprised to find out that the GVM with over 100 more bids than the Pixel K80 has the same output. The Veltrux came last. Now, I used the Veltrux more than once to film interviews, and it did a great job with an umbrella, so the Pixel should be more than enough for interviews. Now, switching to the RGB mode, the light is 30 feet away from the wall, 100% intensity. Here is the side-by-side between the Pixel and the Veltrux RGB RB10, which I am using right now to lead the wall behind me. I know the Veltrux is much smaller, but you can see it does a great job leading the wall behind me. The Pixel K80 can cover much more real estate than the RB10. Also, because the Pixel K80 can dim to a minimum of 1%, it makes the Pixel a versatile light. Now, the beam angle on the Pixel K80 is 120 degrees, which is pretty wide. You will need to use the barn doors to control the light spill. But again, make sure you don't get the pattern shadows from the barn doors on this object. I want to point out 100% to 0% intensity. This Pixel K80 has a true 1% intensity. Not all lights have a true 1% intensity. They might advertise it as a 1% intensity, but in reality it's 10% intensity. The K80 looks to me like a true 1%. I neglected to say, but the Pixel K80 also has intensity preset 1, 25, 50, 75, and 100% intensity, which I found to be very, very convenient. So the Pixel does not come with a remote control. It does not have an app. You can remotely control it with a second unit when both units are on the same group and the same channel. The problem with that is, as a videographers, we don't use the same intensity when we have multiple lights set up. And if you have one light, then it is not even relevant. But you can still benefit from the group and channels when you have only one light. And this is how you can manipulate the Pixel LED panel. Every sequence of group and channels has a memory. So if you set group A and channel 1 to 3600K and intensity to 50%, it will stay like that even if you turn off the light. Between 6 groups and 48 channels, you could potentially have 288 presets for each one of the modes. No one will use 288 presets, but you could have at least 3 RGB presets, for example, or a preset for a cold and a warm light. Battery runtime in full intensity with a medium Sony batteries. In the RGB mode, I got 1 hour and 13 minutes and about an hour in the bicolor when temperature was 3600K. By the way, 3600K is the brightest point in the CCT mode. Flickering, I tested the flickering in 24p and 30p, shutter speed from 50 to 250, and I find it to be flickering free. Now, what I dislike about this Pixel, well, not dislike, but I wish they included a carrying case and I wish it had a remote control. I think remote control or an app nowadays should be a standard. Maybe I'm just too spoiled, but I like my lights to have a remote control. But I'm interested to hear what others think. Please leave a comment if not having a remote control is a deal breaker for you. I'm very interested to know. And that's pretty much it. So the Pixel K80 is well balanced between the RGB mode and the CCT mode. If you're getting the Pixel K80 for the RGB capabilities, then you cannot go wrong. The intensity is excellent. But before you go, I'm trying hard to grow this channel. If you like this video, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and click on the like button if you like this video. I will leave an affiliate link in the description if you are interested in this light. I hope you find this video informative. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.